Alright, well, didn't show you my teardown on this, but I'm doing a P11 for a guy. He rides his bikes, and he got this one, kind of an original bike for the most part, but when he went to go ride it, it sounded like a corn shucker. So he asked me to tear it down. One of the first things you'll notice is just horrible, and then almost every roller has corrosion on it, and so it's like, yeah, that probably sounded pretty atrocious. So obviously that was a big issue. I wanted to get into the crank because the rods felt funny, and when I pulled these shells out, they didn't even fit in the big end. Like, they were falling out. I'd show you, but it's like kind of hard to hold it and show you at the same time, but you can like almost just toss them in. If it wasn't for this little tab, they would just like fall right in, and so it's like, oh, that's not right. So the pistons didn't look very good, and of course when you look in the bore, I've kind of got it lit up for you, just horrible water damage. So this thing had been underwater. Someone went in there and did a half-assed job cleaning it up and called it good, and unfortunately that's how my client got it. Also, the crank is pretty bad. The radius doesn't look good. The journals themselves are pretty crusty. Overall, it's like very, very poorly done work. Whoever was in it last, they didn't even bend over their tab washer, so you can tell they didn't take the time to go back and finish their job. So it's rough, but everything can be saved, luckily. I'm going to get the crank torn apart. I'm going to grind the journals. I'm going to check the big ends on the rods and make sure that they're round still. But for the most part, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. I've got to go get the head, and he also wants me to go through the transmission, so I'll probably end up with a video of those too. But I'm not going to blast the cases. They're just getting scrubbed. He wants it to kind of have that original look still, so the cases are pretty much ready to go. I just got to get this crank back together and go from there. So I'll show you guys as I go kind of some of the steps. I'm 2/1000ths away from my goal size here, and so I have this little shelf on this side on the outer radius. So I will take this to 0 and then phase grind all the way in. So I'm almost done with this side. Then I'll jump over and do this side, and you can already tell, that was pretty chewed up, looked like shit. And so got the proper radius. Looks way better. So it will be at 20 under when I'm done, and it will be a lot happier. Alright, both journals are ground to 20 under. Radius looks way better. I'm now going to take it back apart, put the flywheel back in, all new bolts and everything. The last one, I don't like reusing them, and the last ones are super chewed up from the dingus that did it before me. So I'm going to get it disassembled and get it back together. LEDs are finally up. I got power on the walls. Now I get to start assembling. I got some shelves. I think it'll probably go right there. I've got 3 kind of assembly tables I'm going to put down the middle. Yeah, so I'm going to maybe do like an office kind of area over here. But I'm very pleased with how bright it is. Should be super, super rad. I'm excited. So I'll have dirty side up there where all the machines run, and then clean assembly side down here. Everything can be laid out. Should be pretty rad. I don't remember what I was planning on doing, but I'm running out of time really to make decent videos because I've been trying to get this new edition set up. I have a lot more to do, but I figured I could make a grinding video just to fill the space. So I'm going to get this crank done up as a Triumph. It's really pitted. I don't know if you can see the texture or not. You can kind of see a couple of the spots on this one I just started. So I'll just kind of do a couple steps here and show you what I'm doing, and I guess hopefully make something entertaining out of it. But like I said, I had planned on making some more assembly videos, but I need to get my benches done. I have these 3 countertops, and they're going to be my assembly tables, and they're going to go in the middle of this room, but I'm waiting on steel. And then once I get those, I can really start knocking out some decent content. I have this pre-war engine I need to assemble. It's got some really, really good stuff. I just got one of these covers in from Missing Link 3D Solutions. Paul Hemsworth in Australia is making these, and they are amazing. Super thick, very well machined. Everything fits nicely. This one's unique though because it's intended for a pre-war, so he left it unfinished on this side here. So I'm going to cut this off and match it up. So that should be a interesting video. It was worn standard, and so I ended up taking it to 20 because the pitting was so deep, so you can kind of see how clean I got it on this right side, and then I need to come over and do the left now, and there's still some of that pitting left there, but it cleans up really nicely at 20, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this side, and then I know this side will clean up, the timing side will clean up nicely at 20 also. I don't know how well you can see it, the texture, but it's pretty bad. It's luckily not that deep, it's just very consistent. But like the radius in there cleaned up very nicely, same with this side. So that's all I'm worried about, and the pitting's gone. I will have to go back and clean up the oiling hole. You can see how it's now just, surfaced itself, so I always like to go back and grind that. Zero in on this journal, and I'll probably show you as I go. Like I said, it's pretty aggressively pitted, and so it will be kind of interesting as it gets ground. You'll be able to watch the pitting go away. But anyway, after that one, then I've got to do this one. Spun a bearing, and also the feed end is all banged up, so I'll have to grind that round again. After that one, I've got this 6T. It's got the curved webs. You can kind of see that. So I have to shave the web off so it's square, so then I can get in and do that outside radius. And then once that's done, you can match it up to these LF Harris conversion rods. So you can run unit 500 big end sizing with the old school rod. I do a lot of those. It's just frustrating when you have to remove the material in order to do that. I'm assuming Triumph had one of those wedged wheels to grind these round, and then obviously it was a Babbitt rod at the time. Okay, so I know this video's kind of a hodgepodge of different things, but I was just going to show the difference of how much material I have to remove on these. I don't know how obvious that is with this camera, but anyway, I've got this one on the left shaved down, and so now I'm about to do the one on the right. I forgot to weigh this first one, so I weighed the right side, the timing side one, and hopefully I'll get a significant change just to get an idea. People always ask how much it removes, and I never really thought about weighing it before. I've done balances, but I've never really done a balance before, so I don't know what it would be after. But anyway, yeah, so all that meat's shaved off, so now I can finally grind it properly. But I'll get this one done and then get it all finished. This will probably be the end of this video. Like I said, it's kind of a hodgepodge of stuff. I didn't really know what to do. I still need to polish this crank and get the suds trap installed, but it's ready to go. I've got another one I need to do, get it set up. But yeah, sorry for the lack of videos lately, but I will try and get more consistent again.